What's up, everybody? I'm your host, Joseph, and welcome to Fictioning Flow. All right, you know what time it is. C2E2 is this Friday, March 31st through April 2nd, this Sunday. I am super hyped to go to C2E2. It's one of my favorite conventions in the city of Chicago, and I am really excited to take you all there as well. Make sure you check out Facebook Live and Instagram Live, as I'll be live streaming some of my experiences there, especially for those of you all who cannot make the convention, to just see exactly what happens and what goes on. You do not want to miss that. Today's topic focuses on some tips and hacks for dealing with photo ops as well as autographs. So I haven't done this kind of review before, but I just want to give some of you first timers out there a way to kind of navigate C2E2 when it comes to getting your photo ops or getting autographs from your celebrities and comic book fans. So as we know, we have Mr. Chris Evans, Captain America himself, Zachary Levi, Shazam, and Tanakh, Namor coming. So those are like the top 3 heavy hitters, but we got a bunch of people coming there. So this video is to help you all have your best experience when it comes to those things at C2E2. I want to start off by talking about the photo ops. So just in case you were wondering, your favorite celebrity guests will not be dressed up in costume or in character, right? They'll be in their everyday regular clothes, so just to be prepared for that. From my experience, most of the celebrity guests are pretty cool, down-to-earth people. So if you want them to do any specific type of pose, it is okay to ask for that. All they can do is tell you no. But more than likely, they'll be willing to kind of help you out with that type of request. It's not that bad. So I would say definitely practice what pose you want to have your celebrity do. It's best to have a picture if you can. You can bring your phone and kind of show them what you want them to do, or kind of really tell them in detail. But because of the long lines, it's best if you have something already just ready to go. Right? Just pull out your phone like, hey, can we pose like this? Would this be okay? Go ahead and ask them. If they give you a yes, you're good to go. Next thing you should definitely do is practice how you are going to pose. Because it's kind of one of the worst things, because the lines go so quick and they get you in and get you out. You'll be amazed at how fast this process works. So you really want to be prepared for how you want to pose with your celebrity guests. So if you want to just do a regular smile, you want to do some kind of action pose, kind of practice that ahead of time, as silly as that may sound, to kind of make sure you're getting the best picture that you want from that experience. Because one of the worst things you want to do is you've paid all that money, you waited in line for possibly hours, and then your pose in the picture is totally off. Like you're looking down, looking away, not smiling, not doing what you want to do. You've kind of basically wasted your money because they're not going to retake the picture. It's not like back in the day, old school, when you were in school and say, all right, we can retouch your photo or do it again. None of that. It's one time, boom, and you're gone. All right. Also, props. If you want to have your celebrity guest hold a specific prop, you make sure you have that ready and open and ready to go. So I know a lot of times with Captain America, people want him to hold the shield. He will not be bringing any props from the movies. You have to supply all of that. So you have to make sure you have all those props ready to go prior to coming to C2E2. When you get in that line, you want to have all that stuff out and cleared off and all the plastic, whatever, making sure it's 100% ready for the celebrity to hold it and pose with it when they do that photo op with you. A lot of the times the celebrities like to have fun too, because they're just like, regular people like us. So it's also pretty cool to ask for like a silly pose or something like, to make you laugh. They're totally usually up for that as well. So make sure you, once again, make those requests early, practice what you want to do, as well as if any props you have you want them to hold or display, make sure you have all of that ready. Once again, the line moves extremely fast once you get into the queue to take the picture. Otherwise, you're going to miss out on that opportunity. All right, this next part focuses mainly on the autograph sessions. Now, I know a lot of times the autographs are a lot longer than it does take the line. Because for this year, which I thought was pretty amazing, for each celebrity that you have purchased an autograph ticket for, they get to autograph up to 3 things, which has not happened before. Usually you have to pay that one fee for each thing you want autographed. So make sure you know what you're bringing ahead of time. I would even say to go so far as prepare a couple of days before and have everything kind of ready to go, so that way when it comes to your turn in line, you can kind of just knock it out real quick and kind of move on, because once again, these lines tend to be pretty long. The longest I've ever waited in line in the Comic-Con was 4 hours. Yes, you heard me right, 4 hours.
Oh my God!
So that was for Stan Lee himself. And I understand the age at the time. It was his last official appearance at a Comic-Con, but he took breaks in between too. Of course, I had to respect that and understand that. What I'm going to share with you today is some of the books by the artists and either writers of the series that I'm going to have signed at C2E2. And this is what I always do. I kind of get the things ready before. So I usually look at the app or the website to see who's coming. Make a list of the people you want to have them sign your books, and then pull the books that you want to get signed and kind of put them together so you kind of have a collection ready to go. So yeah, you're not kind of fumbling through all your materials when you kind of get up to line. All right. So one of the people that's coming to C2E2 is a person named Zeb Wells. He's been writing Amazing Spider-Man as of late, and there's some certain covers that I really want him to sign because I like the way the covers look, and I want to get his signature on that, being the writer behind the Spider-Man book. I'm going to share some of those with you. So first is Amazing Spider-Man number 86. And I love this cover because Spider-Man just looks tortured. In this particular cover, he is surrounded by all of these spiders crawling over him. And I just like the way he's looking in that particular pose. He's like he's really going through something. And I really want this book to get signed. Next, in the X-Men books lately, there's been this Hellfire Gala that's been happening for the past 3 years. And so what happened, at first it was just the X-Men, but then they invited all the other superheroes, some villains even, to come and experience the gala. And they all wore very specific costumes, right, to kind of go with this gala event. And so this is a cover of Amazing Spider-Man in his Hellfire Gala costume. Once again, it's a very different take of the book. Love this cover. It's really unique and different, and I want to get that signed. Recently in the Spider-Man series, there's been this thing called Dark Web, where Spider-Man's clone, Ben Reilly, also known as the Scarlet Spider, kind of came back into his life, and someone messed with him and kind of was taking away his memories. So as he was losing his memories, he started to become evil. And this whole plot came from that, called the Dark Web. And this is a variant cover from the Amazing Spider-Man Dark Web #1. All right, look at that. It's a throwback to an old original Spider-Man cover, but I love this new look with the new suit, and then the chalk almost drawing in the background of the characters. So in the Dark Web series, Ben Reilly kind of became evil and had this new costume and actually some new powers along with his normal spider powers. And this is the first appearance of him in this costume, which is on the cover. And this is another one I'm looking to get signed. Check that out. I love this purple and green, black. It's almost kind of like a throwback to the Prowler, but not so much. But it's a different take on the Spider-Man costume. Alongside Ben Reilly, he had there was someone else who was kind of tormenting Ben and his girlfriend at the time. This new character came out. You know, Spider-Man's have always been played with goblins, right? We got Green Goblin, Demo Goblin, Hobgoblin. It's always these different type of goblins, right? So we finally had a new goblin, and it was actually a female character. And this was the first appearance of this person, known as Queen Goblin. And I definitely want to get this because it's the first time we have her in this costume. I'd love to get this signed. Check it out. As some of you may know, Disney is doing a 100th celebration anniversary right now. And as a result, some of the Spider-Man books have had some Disney-based covers. So it's going back to some classic Avenger books with Disney characters on them. So I definitely want to get this one signed. This is a Spider-Man at the Disney 100 cover with Mickey Mouse and gang as the Avengers. Next is another one. It's another Spider-Man cover, going back to that 100 Disney celebration, but it's Goofy as the Incredible Hulk for the first cover of Incredible Hulk. Definitely want to get that signed. This new Spider-Man outfit is like a mesh between Amazing Spider-Man plus Green Goblin. He actually has a glider, and he has almost like these pumpkin bombs. So I want to show you that cover, and this is one I also want to get signed. All right, there we go. The new Amazing Spider-Man partnered with the Green Goblin. Another artist I would like to get to sign some books is an artist named Scotty Young. He usually does these baby versions of characters for his books. He's been writing the book Strange Academy. And I really like his art style, and he's usually really playful with his work. So here's a couple I want him to get signed. First one is the Captain America, Sam Wilson, in the baby format. And I love this, him like bursting through the newspaper. Really cool format of how he looks. So I want to get this one signed. He also writes a book not for kids called I Hate Fairyland. It's pretty funny, but I love the book. And here's a cover of I Hate Fairyland that I want Scotty to sign. And this is Strange Academy Finals Issue 1. So right now they're on their final semester. They did the first year, now they're taking their finals. And it's a really interesting book, as a lot of things go wrong that you wouldn't expect for, or maybe you would expect for a magical school. Also recently in the DC universe, Poison Ivy has got her own book. So the artist who drew the cover will be there. And I have Poison Ivy #1. I would love to have them sign it. Okay, there it is. So once again, any #1 or any significant issue of a comic book where something happens, to get that book signed if you can, because it'll really increase the value of that book if you plan to sell it later on. Okay. The next book is Superman, Batman, World's Finest. So it's a book with both of them in it together. It's kind of like they've done this several times in the DC universe. But in this particular series, they had this new character come up who was like a combination Superman, Batman character, but they were kind of evil. So it was the premiere of this character, and I really got the cover that stood out. There was like a regular cover and a variant, and I got the variant of this new Superman, Batman mixed character, and I want them to sign that book. Here it is. All right, I love the costume, pretty dope, and I really want this person to sign that book. The next two books are from the Superman Batman series. They're both issues #1. They had two variant covers that were pretty unique. So there's been this meme that has gone around for a while. It's an image of Batman slapping somebody, right? Slapping Robin, right? It's like, whoa, what kind of book was that? But it was an actual cover back in the day. And he was saying something pretty mean to him. So they did an homage to that for issue #1. And it has Batman slapping Superman. And I'm like, oh, okay. So it's like, you know, whose book is it, really? So it's once again, it's like, you know, Superman, like, I can't wait for this book, you know, and like, Batman, no, this is our book. I'm on the front. I'm the one who's in the lead. Now, what I really love about this book, they actually flipped it and did it the opposite way. So once again, Batman is known for slapping Robin in that image, and you just saw from the last cover that Batman was slapping Superman. They did another version where Superman was slapping Batman. So I bought both covers because I definitely want to get those both signed. These are both collector issues, and this is a must-have if you are a Superman or a Batman fan. Marvel put out a book, starting last year, called Marvel Voices, where they paid attention to a lot of diversity, equity, and inclusion, and they started highlighting those characters in these books. So they've done Native Americans, they've done Asian Americans, they've done Indian, they've done Pride Month, as well as African Americans. So the most recent Marvel Voices was for African Americans, focusing on Black Panther. And it has, usually these books have multiple artists in them, multiple stories written by different people. But this particular one has a shout-out story from Marcus Williams. You may have heard of him from Tuskegee Heirs. He's a super dope artist. He usually comes to C2 every year. And I've gotten pretty much all of his books, the Tuskegee Heirs series. But he had a special story in this Marvel book. And I want to make sure I get him to sign. And I really love it because I got the variant cover. I have two of them, so I'm going to show you what each one looks like. Okay, here's the first one. I love this blue background. It just kind of comes out and it stands out really well against the characters. It's a smooth contrast. So I want to get him to sign this version. Right, like I say, once again, futuristic. I love it. And I want to get him to sign both of these covers. And this is a variant cover from a person named Spawn. And the name of the story is 8 Billion Genies. And I just want to get this particular book signed because I love the character Spawn. So, and throw back to him, and also with the little genies on it. So the author of The Last Miles Morales, Salim Ahmed, he is coming to C2E2, and I have a lot of books for him that I want to get signed. So I really have to pick and choose which ones I thought were best for my collection. And I've chosen basically all variant covers. So the first one is a Miles Morales throwback to the Predator, because Marvel bought the rights to the Predator now, so they're going to use him in the comics. And this is a Miles Morales and Predator fight cover. That's not what's happening in the book. I really wish it was. This is just a cover to show you like both of them using their invisibility powers. This book has to get signed. Next, going back to that Hellfire Gala, this is a Black Widow Hellfire Gala outfit for the Miles Morales book. So I love this dark outfit that Black Widow is wearing. Right? Pretty dope. Really kind of shows more of her, you know, Black Widow nature. But Natasha Romanoff's looking pretty dope in this costume, so I want to get that one signed. Most recently, his parents have had another child. So he has a baby sister named Billy. And he's been caring for her every now and again. So he's actually taken her out swinging a couple of times. And this is a variant cover showing Miles Morales and his baby sister out for a swing. All right, got to get that cover. Got to get that one signed. But in this particular book, it's showing all his future events, and he's got to talk with his adult sister now in this cover. And it was the Spider-Man Miles Morales Clone Wars. The Clone Wars were a popular series for the Amazing Spider-Man. Some people loved it or hated it, but Miles finally got his own Clone Wars event. As a lot of you all know, Miles Morales is half Hispanic and half African-American. So they did this variant cover, I think last year for Hispanic Heritage Month. And it was Spider-Man and really in this new suit that kind of showed his Hispanic heritage as well. And I thought it was pretty dope. And I really want to get this book signed. I love how they incorporated the shield within this book on the cover. You can actually get this as a shirt. I've seen it at the Disney store online. Check that out. But it's a pretty dope cover. This next cover goes back to Miles' roots from, like, you know, Brooklyn, him with the whole graffiti, the hip hop culture. This was a variant edition cover. I had to really search to find this one, and it's really rare. And I actually got 2 of these. So I definitely want to get them signed, but I only need to show you all one. But I'm loving this hip hop version of Miles Morales. All right. Got the kicks going, got the hoodie, got the graffiti in the background, holding the radio. Like an old artist, LL Cool J. It's just a whole throwback to the hip-hop culture. This next book is a take on Villains Month. So in Marvel, they did a couple of covers of characters like as villains, or they highlighted villains. This is a really interesting thing to see, and I would love to see this character become a reality in the book at some point. If you can imagine the character Ultron, this sentient AI robot, combined with Miles Morales. So this is like Miles as Ultron. That's a pretty dope cover. All right. Scary, menacing. Would hate to catch that person in the alley, but I love this cover, and I definitely want to get this one signed. Last but not least is there's been a series that came out not too long ago called Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Ronin. So in this particular series, all the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles have died except for one. That's why it's called Ronin. It's like this one is the last turtle left. He's a lone soldier, and it's about him trying to like get rid of the Foot Clan for good. Shredder has already died, so it's like his daughter, I believe, her son is taking over, and he's trying to get rid of the Foot Clan. April O'Neil is in it, is an older woman. Her child is in there, but it's also about the turtle dealing with the loss of his brothers and his master. So one thing I love about this book is that the turtle that's surviving, and I won't tell you which one it is, but the turtle that's surviving always has these discussions with his former brothers. Like, you know, like, you should do it like this, or no, you know, you should do it like the way I did it. And so he's always kind of like he's talking to himself, but it's almost like he's talking to the spirit of his brothers, and they're helping him. So it's been years later, he's gotten more hard, more tough. And even they kind of talk about that in the book with his shell being a little bit more durable as well. So this is called Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Ronin. It was a good series, and it's actually getting ready to be turned into a video game, as I heard from some rumors lately. This is Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles: The Last Ronin. This is issue 1. It is an amazing book. I suggest you to pick this up for anyone who's been a Turtle fan, like I have been for a lot of years. All right, and the author of this book is going to be at C2E2, and I definitely want him to sign that for you. All right, So those have kind of been my tips and tricks and hacks to go to C2E2 as far as getting photos as well as autographs. Also, just so you know, the artist will charge different prices for them. Some artists will say, hey, I'll sign 3 books for free. Everyone after that is $5. Some artists will charge $10 right away or higher. Some even charge $20 per book. It all depends. So really think about how many books you want to get signed as well as the amount of money. My best suggestion is to, for day one, go into C2E2, walk around what's called the Artist Alley. That's where all the people are doing their book signings. See who's there and see how much they charge. Because that way you can kind of prepare for the next 2 days to kind of know what you want to spend and how many books you want to get signed. If you enjoyed this video, consider giving it a like as well as dropping a comment below. Let me know what your plans are for C2E2 when it comes to photographs as well as autographs. And don't forget to subscribe to the channel to know when new content drops just like this and hit that notification bell. And until next time, peace.